We turn our attention to professional wrestling and an event going on at the Wolstein Center this weekend tomorrow, April 11th. It is TNA Wrestling's Rebellion Showcase. Let's welcome in Nic Nemeth, former world champion, Cleveland native, who will be wrestling in the event at the Wolstein Center tomorrow. Nick, tell us a little bit about this event, what folks can expect.
Oh, man, it's going to be great. First of all, pro wrestling is my favorite thing in my life. My dad took me when I was 5 years old out to the Richfield Coliseum to see WWF at the time, long time ago. And it just got me started for the love of this wrestling job. And I've spent over 20 years now in the business, repping Cleveland anytime I can, but all over the world doing what I do. And now we get a chance to bring this great company, TNA Wrestling, on a big resurgence. We just 2.5 months now, we've had this relationship with the AMC channel. Thursday nights, 9 o'clock. We're all over the world. People are checking out our show and getting to see how awesome the talent are. And coming home to Cleveland to have this big pay-per-view match, not just stacked with all our titles on the line, and not just knowing that the Hardys are there with the tag titles on the line against the system, knowing that I get to perform in my backyard, my hometown where I grew up, and somehow that's not the biggest moment for me. We add one more piece to this. In my corner for my match against AJ Francis, TNA Rebellion, April 11th, Saturday night. In my corner, legendary Cleveland Brown, Bernie frickin' Kosar in my corner for this match. So not only is this awesome for me to be able to come perform and show what I do to all my friends, family, ex-girlfriends from the past, rub it in their face a little bit. I get absolute hero of mine, Cleveland legend and Browns legend, Bernie Kosar, out there with me. It doesn't get any bigger for this night.
How'd you convince Bernie to be in your corner for the match?
That's a great question, because at first I was like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if I could somehow find a way to get Bernie to be in the crowd, just so I can, steal the show for him, much like he used to lead the Browns to the big wins and shows and games when I was a kid and growing up watching. And everything he's done for us, Browns fans and the city of Cleveland, and Cleveland's been behind him every step of the way. But now I get him, I was just hoping to get him front row or close so he could watch me do what I do, and hopefully I can entertain him like he did to me. But now a couple of steps in, I was like, hey, what about, maybe you could be in my corner, and if something went down, you could have my back. And I was fully ready to be like, no, I'll be there. And that's why he goes, yes, I'm there in a heartbeat. I'll be in your corner. And that blows me away already. This is absolute Cleveland/Cleveland Browns legend, Bernie Kosar. And now I have him in my corner. So all the titles are on the line. The Hardys are fighting for the tag titles. But I got AJ Francis, former NFL player, going one-on-one against me in my backyard with friends, family there. And now Bernie Kosar watching my back to make sure everything goes smooth and the ref can call it down the middle.
All right, so you're wearing a Kent State hat. I know you were a three-time Mid-American Conference Wrestling champion at
3.9. Who's counting?
Then you also won a couple of national championships at St. Ed's. How special is it to be back in your hometown for this event?
It's huge, man. Growing up here, I went to St. Pat's. I wrestled there with a bunch of my friends. Went on to St. Ed's, where I was pretty good, but I was nowhere on the level of this team. I think the 97 team that I was on, 1997, were national champions. I think we won it twice in the 4 years that I was there. Absolutely incredible team of killers, MMA guys, went on to championships. They went on to national titles in college. So many time champions, All-Americans. We just had this murderer's row of absolute awesome dudes. So I got to get better by being out there with them, and then got to get a little bit better when I went to Kent State and ended up breaking the record there for all-time wins. And the whole reason I was focused on winning that record and breaking it was that somewhere down the line, Vince McMahon could Google my name and go, well, he's only 5'11" and 200 pounds, but you know what? He's the all-time winningest wrestler in Kent State history. Let's give him a shot. And because Kurt Angle, one of my heroes, did so well, they gave me a shot, and the rest is history.
Yeah, 2004 to 2023 with WWE and multiple national world champ a couple of times. I got to ask you this. You're wearing an MMS T-shirt. You're wearing your Kent State hat. You always represent Cleveland. Favorite Cleveland sports memory?
Oh man, I'm gonna I'm not gonna use one of the ones that we all use for everything. And I'm sure not gonna say the 0-16 parade. I'm not gonna say anything like that. I went to the old Cleveland Stadium for a Cleveland Indians game and got to meet Greg Swindell before the game, and I was a child, and I remember that. I thought that was awesome. But I've been out there sitting. I went to the coldest game in maybe 20 years in Browns history 3 years ago. And my friends and I, we all took a picture with our shirts off out there because you couldn't even sit down or you open a beer, and before you could sip out of it, it was frozen over the top. So I won't use all our normal sports moments, but having things like that happen and just having those memories in a positive way. And come on, are you kidding me? Bernie getting played on the radio as the Browns are going to the AFC Championship game. I will never forget listening to that on the radio while turning the TV down so we could hear the call by our guys on the Cleveland team.
Nick, appreciate the time. Again, it's TNA's Rebellion Showcase tomorrow, Saturday, the 11th, live at the Wolstein Center. You can watch it on pay-per-view. You can catch it on TNA Plus. You will be there. Bernie Kosar will be in your corner. Best of luck. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. It's going to be a blast. Cleveland, let's come out and check this out. The show's going to rule. All the titles online, and Bernie frickin' Kosar is there. Let's go.